Hey guys, how you doing? So today we are starting our 2024 spring maintenance on our Zematic pivot. Our pivot is just under 1,000 feet long. It's about 4 years old, I believe, maybe 5, or this will be its 5th season. And there's some basic maintenance that we do on the pivot. So stay tuned if you're interested in watching. So some of the maintenance things that we have to do on this machine is gearbox oil checks. So we've got a plug down here that we will open up, and basically what we're doing is we're checking or removing any water that might have accumulated in the gearbox. So basically what you do is you open that up and you just let any water drop out. And then the next thing we'll do is we'll come to the top here and we'll open up this plug and we will check the oil level on the gearbox itself. We'll put any oil in there that we may need. And then after that, we've got, and then we actually have 2 gearboxes on each tower to do. So that's one drive gearbox, that's the other. And then we have the center drive that has a plug somewhere around here. I know I've drained these things. Where is it? There it is down here. And we'll drain any oil that might be in that, and then we'll fill it up there. So that's kind of the gearbox oil check. And then we will come back and we've got to check all the tire pressure. They run to around 22 pounds per each tire. It also looks like I'm missing some lug nuts here, so we'll go through and find all of those. And we do that for each tower. We've got 5 towers on this machine. And then at the other end, we've got some grease fittings that we need to put some grease in, so when the machine goes around in circles, it's properly greased. We are looking at getting calves probably in the next 2 to 3 weeks. And so that'll play out kind of in our strategy pretty nicely. There's enough food here for somewhere around 50 or 60 calves. And the first thing we need to do is we need to find a adjustable wrench. I like to put some gloves on because that is nasty oil. And we just got to start cracking open the bottoms. And the last time we did this, I gave myself tennis elbow and that really sucked. So we're going to be cautious of that and try not to give ourselves tennis elbow again. All right, so got our wrench, got our gearbox, got our gloves. And all we're doing is we're going to just open this up a little bit. So if there's any water in there, it'll come out, because the water has settled to the bottom. And as soon as we see any oil come, we plug it back up. All right, no water in that guy. All right, I'll show you what it looks like on the center drive here. I think I'm gonna go get on the next one, I'll probably go get a smaller adjustable wrench so I don't have to adjust it. But it's the same process as the gearboxes. And this is thinner oil, so more is gonna come out quicker. This system is still sealed really well. All right, so we got all the gearboxes checked. There's a total of 15 of them, 10 drives and then 5 centers. We only had a little bit of water in this last one, and maybe probably, I don't know, just a tiny bit came out, so that's pretty dang good. So we're gonna go in, we're gonna wash our hands off, we'll see how the kids are doing, and I may come back out and start checking the gearbox oil level depending on how they're doing. All right, checked on the kids, they're doing okay. So I went ahead and got the gear oil box gearbox oil lube. We're using 85W140 for the gearboxes. Last year, like I said, when we did this, we gave ourselves tennis elbow. And so to combat that this year, I'm going to attempt to put on a breaker bar so I can have more leverage than just this little piece here, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so put that on, put this on. Let's see if we can free that up a little bit better, at least the initial chunk there. Seemed to be a lot better. Trying to get all the dirt away from it. And then we should see oil right at the top. And so it may need to be topped off just a little bit. Actually, looking at it, I think it's just okay. Because if you put too much in, you can actually over pressurize the gearboxes. So the manufacturer recommends not filling it to the very top. So I think to err on the side of caution, we're gonna call that one good to go. And most of these should be good to go. All the plugs on the bottom were nice and tight, except for one of them. And so I wouldn't expect us to need to really put a tremendous amount of oil in any of these, especially since we changed the oil last year. So we'll just do a quick check and we'll go down and do that. We got 9 more gearboxes to go do on the drive line. All right, so we're over here on the 3rd tower, and this one here is low. You can tell, I don't know if you can or cannot actually, but the oil is not up to the rim. And so we need to get it filled up. So we'll get our, oops, probably be nice if y'all could see me. So we'll get our pump bucket over here and we'll put some oil in it. So these buckets are pretty nice. I bought a lid that just fits on top of a 5-gallon bucket. And then it's got this hose and this spout, and you just pump it and it works really nice. It helps to keep the messes down mostly. Yeah, they're pretty nice. You can find those lids on Amazon or Tractor Supply or pretty much anywhere. I'm pretty sure you cannot find the lids at a grocery store though, so don't go looking there. And so basically what we do is we just put that in there and we just slowly pump it till that oil level comes up. This oil is pretty thick and it's a touch cold out, so it's not very viscous right now. That's why we check and we do our maintenance every year. This is to catch things like this. This box may have only been half full. I don't know. Not coming out the bottom, is it? Good grief. Oh, I probably shouldn't say it, but if we're going to replace a gearbox this year, it's going to be this one. I wonder if this one ever got filled with oil. It should not have been this low. I bet you this gearbox got skipped last year. We get distracted, and I bet you my crew forgot it. And I never came back and checked it, and I should have. Whoop. All right, settle down. Get all the air out. There we go. I really hope we don't have to replace the gearbox. These things are stupid expensive. But we'll see what happens. All right, well, we got all the center drive. No, we got all the gearboxes done, all the drive gears done. But we did not get to the center drives. But for about an hour's work, that's not too bad. Sun's going down, so we're gonna call it quits for today. All right, so it's day 2 in the evening, and we are now checking the center drives. The oil that goes in there is ADW90. Ugh. So all we got to do is open these guys up. And we're just checking to make sure that oil is sitting basically right there at the top, and that oil is nice, fresh, and clean. So this one's good to go. We've got 5 of these to do. We finished checking the oil and all the center drives. All right, so we're on day 3 of getting our machine up and running here. So what we got to do today is we're going to run an impact on all the lugs, make sure they're nice and tight, and then check the air pressure on the tires. They should be somewhere between 22 to 25 psi. There's not a lot of pressure on these tires. So that's what we're gonna do. I got Temperance here as my helper. We've got the generator, air compressor, the impact, some headphones, because it's super loud when you run that impact. Now we'll check our air tire pressure. We're at about 20 pounds, so put a little air in it. All right, that's good. We replaced 3 tires last year, so I'm hoping we're out of having to replace a bunch of tires this year. So Tempe's gonna stand back as I put the tighten these up, because it's really loud with the impact. We've got 5 tires to do. We've already done 1, and so we got 3 more to go. We did 1 off of the camera to make sure we had our process figured out. So we'll go down and do the next 3. Grass is really starting to come up. We got another cold snap coming in, so we're gonna let that go, or let that get past us. They're calling for rain for 2 or 3 days in a row and some snow. It was 18 degrees this morning. So we're gonna let this week go by and see what the next week looks like. But my guess is within the week or 2, we'll get the water running on this thing. My neighbor over here is already, oh, I got stuck in the rut. Let's see if I can get out of the rut. All right, we got unstuck. Temperance is doing some homework in between the towers. But what I was saying is my neighbor over here, he's already going. He's got wheat growing over there. But I'm a little more nervous about the ice. This time last year, we had some freeze that came in, and I was talking to the lady at the irrigation store, and she said that they had like 4 to 6 pivots down due to ice. So I'm pretty conscious about running in super cold weather. Oh, this one, somebody parked it. No, we're good. Blow a little air in there to get any dirt that might be in it. Whew. This one says it's got 60 pounds on it. That's not right at all. I better let some air out. So I had the thought about that tire being at 60 pounds. I definitely did that last year, and this is one of my biggest ruts that I have on this field, especially riding here where there's a lot of weight on it. And I'm curious to see if I get the same depth of rutness at the end of the year after I plow all this up. Because in the world of pivots, they talk a lot about flotation. You can actually buy plastic tires to help with the flotation, and so it doesn't dig down so much. And I wonder if that's what has caused such a deep rut here, is I had not enough surface area to help float the machine and distribute the weight. All right, so we finished the towers, getting them all aired up and checking the lugs. We only had 3 lug nuts missing, 2 on one tire and 1 on the other, and it was all on this last tower here. So we got to go find some 1-inch lugs, and we also have to go find some tire caps, valve caps, and we got to get these kinds of things. This is not supposed to be like this. See how this one here is up and over? Well, the wind did that. Whoa. Whoop. That's probably a good way to break that plastic. I probably shouldn't be doing that. These are 10 psi regulators in here, and I bet you if it hits that, it'd probably break the regulator pretty good. But okay, so we got to go down here, right here to the center of the pivot, and there's either 2 or 4 fittings, grease fittings, that we got to go hit. So we're gonna go do that, and then this thing, we got to tie up 2 spouts, 2 drops, and then this thing will be ready to turn on. So here's the first fitting and the second fitting, but you got to take this clamp off to get to that fitting underneath the collector. Yep, so we got a fitting here and a fitting here. Let's see, so it says apply grease before starting once every year or 1,000 hours of operation. We're doing that. Huh?
Every year?
Every year, you gotta take care of your stuff. If you take care of your stuff, it'll take care of you. All right, so we're gonna take
these bolts off.
Yeah, there we go. So now I can get to it. We'll do this one first. I'm thinking about getting a automatic grease gun. Well, all you got to do is pull the trigger, because this thing is a pain.
Heavy.
And I usually put about, I don't know, maybe 20 pumps into it.
No wonder your arms are so tired.
I've already lost count because I wasn't paying attention. Okay, that should be good. Down here. And it's just starting to come out here that you can see, so that's about right. And I got too much anyways, so that's
fine.
That, or I need to put a different fitting in there because it's gonna just drip out now. Put one in that actually plugs itself, let all that grease come back out.
Mom's not gonna be happy that you used a towel.
Well, I got her thumbs up to be able to use this. So.
Okay. Okay. I mean, it's still coming out, but
yeah,
that's fine.
That's okay. We don't want this thing to rust. Put enough grease on it, it won't rust. All right, so we'll put this bolt back on, or put this clamp back on, I mean. Okay, cool. All right, now we gotta go to the other side. Okay, so we're on the other side.
I'll count it for you.
All right, so that is how we do our spring maintenance on our Zematic sprinkler system. We do have to come over here and tie these guys up. These are the inner circles, so we just tie these up because we don't need to water in here. But anyways, please stay tuned for the next couple of weeks. We're gonna be turning this guy on, and Tummy's got something to tell you.
Please like and subscribe.
Thank you, y'all. Have a great day.